Education's changed a lot over the last, I would say, last 5 to 7 years for sure. Specifically during COVID, it's kind of driven us to kind of really reevaluate how we're like teaching and assessing students. When I was in school, if you had 10 tests for assessments, a teacher would give you 10 tests. They would add up those 10 tests, the total amount of marks, divide by 10, and that would be your average. We don't do that anymore. We evaluate using a document called Growing Success. But some of the work that we're doing here at the school I'm at is we are in grade 9 and 10 because we're de-streamed now, which means there's all the kids are in the same program, academic program, that we use feedback-based assessment. So students don't receive marks. They only receive a mark at midterm, and they only receive a mark at the end of the semester. We use what we call feedback-based assessment, and the feedback is focused on what the student can do well and what the student needs to improve on, and then opportunity is given for students to go back and use the feedback of what they're not working well on to go back and redo some of the assessments, work on that feedback, and to improve their learning. And a grade doesn't really demonstrate learning, it demonstrates knowledge. And so you want to make sure that we're demonstrating learning, and so feedback-based assessment, all the research, if you look it up, will tell you that feedback-based assessment is the best predictor of how well students are going to do. As long as that feedback is used properly. It's difficult for teachers to get out of the mindset of I need to give a mark. It's difficult for parents to understand where's the mark, and it's difficult for students to understand what did I get, right? So it's a learning curve for everybody, but we've been doing it here now for about 4 years, and it's just really embedded now in our daily practice here, and people like it because a student is clear on when they do an essay, you know what? I'm struggling with my thesis. I'm struggling with my proof. I'm struggling with my structure of my writing. Whereas instead of giving a student a mark that says 65, it doesn't really tell them anything. Feedback that says, you know, you're really good here, you need to work on this, that helps the student work on the skills that they need, and they can transfer those skills to other courses and to other disciplines. And the evidence we've been collecting shows the students who have been in the grade 9 and 10 feedback-based assessment program, and all the students here are, then they do better, generally speaking, when they get to grade 11, because they're more confident, they feel better, and they have a more grounded skill set of themselves in terms of what they're really good at and what they know they need to work on. So you want to make sure that not every school does not doing the feedback-based assessment, but it's a really good way to give students positive feedback and asset-based feedback that tells them this is what you're good at, this is what you need to improve on. And even if you don't do it collectively at a school, I would suggest that you do it collectively, you do it on your own or with a colleague. Start off with an assignment, with an activity, a lesson, a unit, and kind of build toward making your program feedback-based. Because if you make your program feedback-based, every bit of evidence will tell you that students will do better, and the students will struggle at first with I don't see my mark. Is this how many marks is this? But they'll eventually learn that I'm smarter than I think I am because I have so many good assets in my learning based on the feedback I've given, and that gives them more confidence, and they end up doing better in school.
Fabulous.